So now what happens after this knowledge has been passed to the 5 sense organs and the 5 organs of action? Let's see in the next shloka, which I will chant. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. One says, thus transmitted in succession from father to son, Arjun, this yoga remained known to the Raja Rishis. Raja Rishis were the royal sages. Through a long lapse of time, this yoga got lost to the world. Let's see the words. Translate the words. It will become easier to understand the shloka. Evam, thus, therefore, imam, this yoga, this knowledge, this whatever I'm telling you, parampara prapta. It was transmitted in succession, parampara, transmitted in succession from father to son. In other words, from guru to shishya. Vidu, remained known. Vidu, vid means knowledge. Remained known, vidu, remained known to whom? Rajarshayo. Rajarshayo. It remained known to the Raj Rishis. Raj Rishis were kings. The kings who were so sattvic that they were kings who ruled a land, but they were also rishis. So Raj Rishis were kings who were also rishis. So this knowledge was known to them. You can understand, when a king knows this knowledge, it will always be passed down to the praja. But the king only doesn't know this knowledge, or whatever knowledge the king knows, if it is sattvic, the sattvic knowledge will come down. If the king only is rajasic or tamasic, the praja will also become rajasic or tamasic. So this sattvic knowledge, this prime knowledge, this greatest secret of all secrets was known at that time to the rulers of the land, and that's why we call them rishis. So that yoga, that knowledge, nashta, got lost. Why did it get lost? The traditional line got snapped. Somewhere along the line, the knowledge did not get passed down in its original form. Why? Kale neha mahata, because of a long lapse of time, because of a long duration, this knowledge got snapped. And then there's a word parantapa. Parantapa means Arjun, the one who destroys enemies. So let's talk a little bit about this parampara. In the tradition of Sanatan Dharma, knowledge was never ever written down. There were no books at that time. It was always passed down orally from the guru to the shishya. When the shishya was made able, capable, he became a guru, and it was passed down once again to the next lot of shishyas. The origin of all this knowledge is the Vedas. Vedas means what? What the rishis saw in their meditative state. And that is why this knowledge is called apaurushya. Apaurushya means no person, no purush can claim ownership of this knowledge, because this knowledge is not invented by any purush, by any person. It is just coming down from the tradition, and we just learned from the first shloka how it came. Bhagwan, Paramatma, passed it to Sun God. Sun God passed it to universal mind, Hiranyagarbha. The universal mind then passed it to the individual mind. The individual mind passed it through the organs of perception and the organs of action. Therefore, there is never going to be an authorship of the Vedas. So let's see this word parampara. Para means crossed over from time and space, from the, the boundaries of time and space. Para means that which is beyond time and beyond space. Apara, not crossed the boundaries of time and space. So parampara means the tradition of passing this knowledge from the higher source to the lower levels of intelligence. Parampara. So this knowledge passing down from the higher levels which go beyond time and beyond space, coming down, yogo nashta, got lost to the world. The world no longer had this knowledge. So when we say the knowledge got nashta, destroyed, lost, what it actually means is its purity got destroyed. Its purity got lost, and it came down in an impure form. How did that happen? And why did that happen? So as things get transmitted from one to the other, maybe when Vaivasvat Manu passed this knowledge to King Ikshvak, maybe some interpretations were added. Maybe some examples of that time when it was passed on was more relevant. So some things were added, some things may have been left out. So the knowledge got a little bit diluted, let's say. Then from King Ikshvaku, it got, expressed in the world. Again, some new interpretation must have got added, some person's own, state of mind, want something got added, subtracted, more and more this knowledge kept getting diluted. Kalenaha mahata, because of this passing from one to the other, to the other, to the other, one generation to the next, original knowledge, which was given by Paramatma, got weakened to such a degree that today, it is completely lost, completely diluted. And there are still some who are living, but this knowledge will not even reach those people. So let us see how it happens. Let's say there is a river and it is sourced high up in the mountains. So it comes down as a stream. And as it passes through the mountains and comes down to the plains, some mud, some impurities, some debris gets added to the water of the river. Up there, where it is in the source, Gaumukh, let's say Ganga, Gaumukh, I have drunk that water actually. It is so sweet, it is so pure, it is so crystal clear, it is so cold, it is so unlike the water we drink normally. But as it comes down into the plains, it keeps getting, collecting other impurities to such a point that you cannot drink the water, which is normally down in the rivers. So this knowledge kept getting weakened, kept getting diluted, till today, this knowledge is not available to the common man. See, in the ancient days, there were gurukuls. And in the gurukuls, there was such a beautiful system of preparing the shishya, of preparing the person to receive this knowledge. You cannot just go into a gurukul or even into an ashram and directly sit in front of the guru and start asking questions. Today, you don't even come in front of the guru. You just ask questions on WhatsApp and you expect the guru to answer in WhatsApp also. But in the original days, this was never the case. You had to go. You would not be exposed to the original knowledge till you were prepared, till you were made capable of receiving this knowledge. So in the Gurukuls, the Gurus would give them seva to do. With this seva, they would train their minds and their sense organs. Your sense organs also have to be trained. Your organs of action have to be trained. They have to be made strong. Your buddhi, your intellect would have to be purified. Your buddhi would have to be made sattvic, clean, crystal clear. You would have to develop titiksha for that, because your senses would be going in all directions, craving for vishais. All this training would be given to the shishyas. And only after that, and let me tell you, that would take years of training. Then only they would be exposed to the knowledge by the Guru. Only then they would be able to be capable of understanding this knowledge and learning it. Okay. So when our Gurukul system stopped and knowledge passed into the hands of people who are not based in this tradition of Sanatan Dharma, not based in the tradition of Sanatan Dharma faith and practice, this knowledge completely lost its value and was no longer available to our children or to us for that matter. And even if, for example, even if you are not getting this knowledge in the schools, in the Gurukuls, even if you are getting it through satsangs, through videos, through YouTube or whatever, you are not capable of understanding it. You are not capable of implementing this knowledge. Why? Because you have not gone through the Gurukul training of purifying the mind, purifying the buddhi, developing dhairya, patience, developing titiksha, forbearance, developing shraddha, faith. And without these sadguns, the knowledge would remain theoretical. You would not be able to absorb it within you, and you will certainly not be able to implement it in your life to the degree that you would have a paroksh anubhuti. You would have the experience, the direct experience of seeing yourself as Aham Brahmasmi. So I was listening to one Sant who explained this so beautifully and so practically, that even if you put the purest, the most beautifully made, sattvically made kheer in a patra, in a dish, which had a little bit of lemon juice in it, your kheer would become khatta, your kheer would become sour, your kheer would get spoiled, it would split and it would break. And that is what happens when we are putting this pure knowledge into our gut, into our mind, which is not pure. This knowledge also gets polluted. And that is what Bhagavan is saying here. Kale neha matta, because of this long lapse of time where the knowledge has become diluted, where the mind has become impure, this yogo, this knowledge has become nashta. This knowledge has lost its purity. So if you sow a seed, best quality seed, a well-preserved seed in a soil which has not been prepared, which has not been, tilled, which has not been made ready for receiving that seed will just remain in that soil and just not produce any fruit, any crop. And that is what happens when knowledge is put into this soil, which is not prepared. It will just remain there. And yogo nashta, this knowledge will become lost. That is the meaning of the second shloka. Now let's see what happens in the third shloka.